24 plus 19?
In this chapter, we are going to be adding two-digit numbers, like 24 or 19. These numbers are different from numbers like you've seen before, 2 and 1, because these numbers have two digits. We have the ones place, and we have the tens place. So the number 24 is very different from the number 2, because the number 2 only has 2 ones and no tens, but the number 24 has 4 ones and 2 tens. As you can see, we have two places. We have the tens place and the ones place. And the number 19 is also a two-digit number because we have 9, which is 9 ones, and 1 in the tens place, which means there's 1 10. Here's a tip that I want you to remember throughout this lesson and also the whole time you're working in your independent workbooks. Start with the ones place. Remember I told you in class, you're going to be in big trouble if you start with the tens place, and you'll see why today. All right, take a look at this for example. Here's the place value chart. 24 ones looks like this. 2 10 rods, which is 20. I'm going to put that in my tens place. And 4 ones. Here are 4 ones that I'm going to place in my ones place. This picture right here shows 24, 2 tens, and 4 ones. And this symbol right here is add. So we're going to put another number of blocks together with the first number of blocks. So here's what 19 would look like. We would have 1 10, so 1 rod of tens, and 9 ones. So here I've got 9 ones. Just to make sure, I'm going to show you that this is the 10. Here's 1 less, which makes that 9. So if I put the 9 in the ones place, because it's not a 10 yet, let's go ahead and break them apart just to prove it. These are just ones. These are not 10 rods. Okay, so there you have the ones all broken up because these are ones, and the rods that show tens, groups of tens. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and add these two numbers. And I hope you remember our expectation, which is to start with the ones place. We're always starting with the ones place. All right, so 9 plus 4 more. If we go ahead and add these together, 9, let's start with the greater number, okay? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What do you notice about this number 13? I hope you noticed that there is a 10 in this number. So I'm going to go ahead and put these blocks together to make myself a 10 rod. And it's okay to mix the colors because we're adding them together. There. So I added all the 10 cubes together into one 10 rod. And I have 3 ones that don't belong in a rod. See how this shows 13, 1 10, and 3 ones? So what we're going to do is we're going to have to regroup. I hope you remember that regrouping game. If you can make a 10 in the ones place, remember how you get to go ahead and exchange it for a red chip? Well, today we're just going to go ahead and move this right over to the tens place. But we're going to move it to the top, like this. Okay, we're just going to move it on top. So we're still going to have our 20 here and our 10 here, just like this right here. And you see how we moved this one to the top? We regrouped, we grouped it, we regrouped it, and moved it over to the tens place because that's where it fits better. So we're going to go ahead and look at this one. 9 plus 4 is 13. And we took our 1 and moved it up here, just like this. So you see that? You see that one? Okay. So just like this picture here, we have 2 tens, 1 10, and then we have the one that we regrouped from the ones place. We moved 1 over to the top, but the 3 ones here, we can keep them in the ones place. So that's what we have at the end. So we're going to go ahead and write the 3 right here. And you might kind of notice that it kind of looks like a 13. If you look right here, 1 and a 3, you can kind of manipulate those numbers in your head and see that there is a 13. Okay, so now we're ready for the tens place. 2 rods plus 1 rod. And don't forget this guy, another rod. How many tens do we have here? How many 10 rods? How many groups of tens? You're correct if you said 4. So you can go ahead and write the number 4. And that's how we are going to add 24 plus 19. And the answer is going to be 43, the number that Olivia was not able to get on her own. All right, here is one more problem that I'm going to show you how to do before I send you off to do your workbook pages. So here's a number, 32. It is a 2-digit number because it has a tens place and a ones place. It has 3 tens like this, 3 groups of tens, and 2 ones. So right here you've got 2 ones. I'm going to go ahead and put that on our placemat, our place value chart. Okay, all right. Now this number is not a 2-digit number. It only has 1 digit, which means it is a ones place number. This number does not have a 10 yet. It is almost a 10. It's a 9, but it's not a 10. So this goes in the ones place. So I gathered 9 ones, 9 pink ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to go ahead and put that over in the ones place. Okay? So now this symbol right here says we're going to need to add, which means to put them together. So we're going to go ahead and put these together. Now instead of doing all of this like that, remember what I told you guys? Always start with the ones place. Very good. Okay, so go ahead. We're going to add the ones place. Can you take your super brains and just see the ones place? Just stare at it for a while and just kind of ignore the tens and just start to see the 2 ones and the 9 ones, like that. Okay. We're going to add those first because the rule that I kept on bugging you guys about, start with the ones place. So we're going to add the ones to see what we get. All right, so 9. Let's start with the greater number. 9 plus 2 more. Well, 1 more makes 10. And another one makes, that's right, 11. Huh? What do you notice about this number? If you said that you noticed there's a 10 in this number, you are correct. So give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and put these together to make a 10 rod with 1 on the side. All right, so there you have it. I made my 10 rod. It is the exact same size as the other 10s. And I made my 1. So 3 10s and 2 1s plus 9 1s. Well, go ahead and just leave the 3 10s alone. Go like this, 3 10s. Because we remember we started with the 1s place. And 2 1s. So here's the part that you're going to see blanks for. Plus, that's important because it could look different next time. It might be a subtraction instead of an addition sign. So don't forget to pay close attention to what you're supposed to do. Here you're supposed to add, and then you have another 1s, which is a 9. 1s. Okay, so now we're just focusing on the 1s. Do you see this part again? Do you see? We're just adding the 1s first. We're doing this first. Okay. All right. So 3 10s, leave that alone. We'll deal with that later. And how many 1s did we make here? We put them together and we got 11. So we have 11 1s. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so now how many 10s do we actually have? We actually have 4 10s. We don't have 11 1s if we regroup. So we're going to take this one right here. We're going to take this one and we're actually going to regroup, okay? So we have 4 10s and 1 1. That's the part, that's the regrouping part, okay? So do you see how there's a 10 in here? Do you see there's a 10 here? We're going to regroup it. We're going to move it over the 10s place. So now you have 4 10s and we just have 1 lonely 1. And then can you guys see the number here? 4 and 1. What's your answer? 41. So 32 cupcakes. If I just added 9 more cupcakes, I would definitely have about 40 cupcakes. 41 to be exact. All right, friends, so now what you're going to do is you're going to go into your workbook. You're going to go to page 65, where it says practice number 2, addition with regrouping. And you're going to go ahead and read everything. Then, if there are pictures, you can read the pictures. And then third thing you're supposed to do is read the blanks carefully. And then read your answer. And tell yourself, does that make sense? Does that number look about right when you add 3 more to 37? And then you will be ready to move on to the next one. And I will see you guys on Zoom. Check your email because I will email you an invite so that you can come to Zoom and show me that you have done 1 and 2 pages. So you have to go up to 68, page 68. Do not do practice 3. That is not today's math. So one more time, 1 page, front and back, 2 pages, front and back. And if you do not finish, that is okay. But try your best to finish in the amount of time you are given. All right. See you guys soon.